Hello everybody, welcome to the Ottawa Senators Outlook. I'm your host Jack. This is my catch-up episode for the Jets and the Capitals games. Remember, this game that was supposed to be on Friday got postponed to February. I forgot the exact date. Unless somebody, if they decide to go in the comment section and comment it, I know that'll probably be the case. But it's sometime in February. But we're going to go over the Jets and the Capitals games also for those celebrating. I didn't make the video for it, which I was honestly planning to do. Wishing you a belated Merry Christmas to all that celebrated, and for those celebrating Hanukkah too. Happy holidays to everybody. And here's to a good 2023. Hopefully for the Senators that's the case as well, as their record right now is 14, 16, and 3, so they're a little bit under 500. They have a total of 31 points. Also, talking about Christmas, I got this hat for Christmas. It's a really nice Senators hat. Got another one too. I'll probably have it in the next videos if you want it. But let's get back to business here. Jets game, 5-1 loss, which was a terrible game for the Ottawa Senators. It was just, we just got outplayed and outcoached, I would say too. Kevin Sunland, Sam Gagner each had 2 goals. Kyle Connor had 2 goals, and Josh Morrissey had a goal as well. Ottawa Senators, the only goal was scored by Drake Batherson, which I believe was on the power play. Outcoached, everything, and as always, I'm getting used to it at this point. We're making sub-900 goalies look like Vezina candidates. And Connor Hellebuck, who looks like the Vezina winner right now, had the flu pretty much. So that sub-900 goalie was David Riddick, who was in net for that game, and then Cam Talbot was in net for the Senators in that one. So it was 3-1 after the first, then it was 5-1 after the second, obviously nothing after the third. There's the loss. And a couple goals that should not have went in. I mean, Ottawa gave up a goal with 12 seconds left in the period, which made it 3-1. We were looking at a pretty decent game so far, even though we were losing. It was 2-1. And they scored in the first couple minutes of the game, scored in the first couple minutes of the second period. We looked really lazy in that game. Out-coached, like I said. Rick Bowness is a really good coach. They forecheck, I believe. I believe that's what it was. I remember watching one of the podcasts on the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, and I forgot what the one Jets fan said. It was a typical Jets game. They attacked the net, is what they pretty much did. I'm not sure if it was forecheck or whatnot, but it was a typical Jets game, is what that Jets fan said, and it was pretty much a typical Sens game where we're making sub-900 goalies look like Vezina candidates. So there you go. And now we go to the Capitals game. We lose in overtime 3-2. Ovechkin does not make history, although he did it Friday night against the Winnipeg Jets. His 802nd goal was an empty netter. I don't think it's the way he wanted it, but I think he took it just because it was at home. He would rather have it against a goalie. And honestly, if I were Ovechkin, I would probably want the same, just to make it more. Because what are you going to get out of an empty netter most of the time? I mean, it's the 802nd goal. Like I said, I'm very happy for Alex Ovechkin, but I think it makes it more exciting when it's on a goalie. In my opinion. I think it's the way he reacted to it as well. But anyways, 3-2 overtime loss to the Capitals. We looked pretty decent, I would say. Even though in the overtime we kind of flopped. Marcus Johansson had a goal. Sonny Milano had a goal. And Kuznetsov had a goal as well. I think Johansson had the overtime goal. I'm not 100% sure. Ottawa now. Batherson and DeBrincat had the goals in those ones. So there you go. We get a point next year, and I would even say in the rest of 2022. We can't settle with, we got a point. If this team wants to be the playoff contender that they say they want to be, which I want them to be, as a lot of you Sens fans want them to be, we can't be saying, we got a point, because we're just going to fall out of the playoff race right now. In fact, we are 11 points out of the final wild card spot. We're last in the Atlantic Division. Not by a lot, though. Detroit is in 4th place, and they're only 4 points ahead of us, which is only 2 games. So, 4th place, or top 4 spot in the division isn't, I wouldn't say out of reach, because it is very possible. 4 points isn't that much, really. But, obviously, like, we got to go on another run. That's pretty much all I'm saying. We got to go on another run, probably another 2 runs, if you really want to ensure that playoff spot that we were pretty much expecting. And that's pretty much all I got to say for this one. I mean, the Jets game was horrible, but we got a point from the Capitals game. Honestly, we looked really flat in some parts of that game. I mean, we did get the third period goal, which, most of the time we don't do. Once we're losing after the second by a goal, what happens? It's an empty netter. But this is pretty much what happened in the New Jersey game. We tie the game in the third, lose in overtime. But 31 points, it's better where we were from last year. And let's just see where it carries on. The 4th episode of Taking Notes is going to be coming out later. But for now, this is Jack from the Ottawa Senators Alec, and go Sens go.